Okay, so I figured that I figured I might just document my day because I won't be doing anything this morning. I'm going for a walk, so I figured that let me just use this time that I've used to read because I read almost every day. Since I have read something today, let me just go ahead and break it down for you. So I'm currently reading Those Come Secrets because that feels like the only book I have not read on my bookshelf. Apart from maybe Elon Musk's biography, which is looking discouraging to start in terms of the size. Hey, Elon is a great guy, completely born. I mean, I can read his biography later because I've read quite a number of biographies, even autobiography of a yogi. And I just feel like I don't think I'm ready to start reading anybody's biography right now. So, something that I'll say about this expert secret is that it's interesting, right? So, a couple of things I have read recently is that every business needs an attractive character. And that's supposed to be the core essence of building a personal brand. The attractive characters like this. Is this Subway stuff? This eatery in the US, I think Subway had an attractive character of a guy who ate only Subway and documented his entire journey, and he lost weight. So by default, that became the attractive character that people wanted to emulate. So people began to buy a lot of Subway. So then something happened. I think the guy was arrested for something, and Subway dropped him immediately. The moment they dropped him, their sales dropped. And it's like the idea of an attractive character is to show that your brand is human. Whether it's a corporate brand, that there's a human behind that brand. There's a human that they can relate to behind the brand. So that's the idea of an attractive character, which he refers to as AC. And in his business, he is the attractive character. That is why when he tells stories, the people are much more prone to buy from his stories, right? Even though what he might be selling may not be directly related to them, it's easy for them to refer somebody. And this is what Danko said. When Danko said that we are slowly moving from venture capital to social capital. Social capital is more like you have an audience, even though you have a very broad audience and you have something you're selling. If the audience truly loves you and they know that they cannot use your product, they will refer that product to other people. So if you have a following of maybe a million, and obviously of that 1 million, 100,000 are your true genuine fans. If you have a product you're selling for maybe $100 and they're not the ones to use that product, they will end up referring somebody else if they really love you because it's crazy. People want some. So he's talking about how to build an attractive character, and in some ways, is just be human, be vulnerable, show people. Okay, I have been there. I know your struggles. I know your problems. I know what you're struggling with. So he gave different approaches, right, to become an attractive character, and I feel like the one that I resonate with is because I create content for the self improvement space. Basically, I tell people what I did to get to where I was. So, and I need to show that I need to show my human side. I feel that's the approach. The other approaches are you're interviewing people, telling people about how other people have solved the problems. Mind you, because the brain will think you to have solved the problem, even though you're on the journey of solving the problem. So, for example, is now I'm building a business now, right? And I'm documenting the journey of building the business. And in the online business I'm trying to build, in the online coaching business I'm trying to build. To be very, very frank, I'm still self-confused, right? I'm still self-confused because I believe that I should be building an audience first. After the little audience, I can now begin to think of a product. Although I remember Danko making a statement saying that if you tell yourself that you're going to monetize in 6 months, you've reframed what you're doing right now. And then think about it. But to live life thinking of the end in mind. No, I think we have to start life thinking of the end in mind. And we have to live life in reverse. So we start with the end in mind and we'll begin to reverse engineer what we are doing right now. So right now is I'm just trying that I'm still kind of confused, but knowing that I will sell self improvement coaching programs, getting people to I saw a particular guy's course, right? Is it Kenny Bender? I think he called it mental mastery. He's telling people how they can overcome addiction, how they can begin to take charge of their lives. And I kind of really realized that looks like what I like to do. Something generic, something that is broad. Create courses along those lines. Because there are people who are already doing it. Look at what Elox is doing. like copy what Alex is doing, then also a community type stuff. So I feel like that's the future. That those are not the only ways I'm thinking of monetizing my brand. I'm also looking at monetizing my brand in a way like hold on, I'm thinking of hold on please. I'm thinking of building tech companies on top of my brand because I feel like all of these businesses can only get you far. And along the lines, you need to like transition to like business. So all businesses have their caps, they have their limits, they have the limit of what they can do. So these online businesses, I mean online, I'm trying to like coaching courses. There's a limit to what you can do, right? Nobody is earning a billion from any of those businesses. Same thing with I feel like the most thriving businesses that have zero, that have almost zero, is the code, right? Code. So I'm going to try to build media, media in terms of media leverage. So there are three kinds of leverage. Sorry, there's capital leverage, which I don't have capital. There's media leverage, and there's code leverage. I know how to code, but coding. I had the meeting yesterday, and the meeting we realized that Africans are not there yet when it comes to like building applications or using software. So that means is coding will only work for the enterprise, will most likely work for the enterprise. Outside of the enterprise, it's almost difficult, not impossible. That's why I said I'm using the community-based approach, which is media. So with media, build a community, monetize with that, and slowly begin to introduce this community into what? Try to introduce them into the code, and that's how I believe that we can slowly begin to shift the culture. Slowly is the keyword, and beginning to shift the culture is the other keyword. So I'm just saying this because I've come to a realization that the code that I have built, I'm going to monetize my brand with code. So how do I do with code? I mean, think of a problem that is shared across in an industry, right? I look for how to make it very, very cheap, right? Where I win that market. And with a very strong personal brand, I can have my tech team, right, which is in-house, and I can outsource the distribution. Not outsource per se, but use it to recruit sales agents and push it forward. So I'm thinking of that also. But that one is like a strong brand and yeah, so my brand will be backing. It's almost like I'll be an influencer for my companies and have people who are actually running the operations. But I'm ideating and bringing a team together and telling the team, this is how I want you guys to scale it. Let's build a system. They build the system, they scale it. I'm just there to make sure that everything goes right. Then today, because I'm saying this because I really wish I started this thing since where I can just drop 10 minutes of what I have read before step into the gym. I feel it's much more better in bringing my behind the scenes. It's much more better and easier to document the journey that way. So today I read about creating funnels and this guy hammers on something. You see, I feel a lot of people they never reach a level of success because they are trying to create success. People have already been successful way before you. Why can't you just drop your pride and copy what they've already done? Why are people trying to do something that's already original? It's only the only way people can do things that are or that are not original or that are original happens when there's a lot of changes going on. That is when people begin to do things that are new. But if there's nothing new happening, like no major invention now, we're in an age of AI. So what that means is there's a rapid market shift. What that means is what used to work may not be working right now, right? But if you find what is already working, why can't you just reuse it to your advantage? Why are people trying to reinvent the wheel? Think about it. People spent, should I say, their entire life trying to reinvent the wheel. They never got anything to perfection. So the message here is simple, right? Before you go out there trying to reinvent what you did not create or what you did not work on, what you did not do, is you are better off investing that time, right, in reverse engineering. So it says that when it comes to making sales online, there are five things you need. You need your demographic, that is the people you want to sell to. How old are they? What do they live? Their skin color, their skin type, their health status. Two, you need the offer. What are you going to sell to these people that you already know? Be very careful because a lot of people, they have a mismatch between their demographic and their offer. In my case, I'm estimating that I want to have a demographic of younger men from 18 to 25 age who are trying to figure out and start the process of living life. That is, how can they start earning money? How can they start attracting partners? how can they be on the same path that I am? Because my path is the path of becoming a well-rounded man, and it's not a path of becoming a rich man. Mm-mm. A rich man, someone who is financially stable. At the same time, he attracts women. At the same time, super confident, super jovial. His social life is on point. His spiritual life is on point. His level of confidence is insane. At the same time, so you have through your landing page. The landing page is basically what tells or introduces your what do they call it, your demographic to your offer as to what you're selling. So that is whenever I click on an ad link, what did they see when they land? Because what they see when they land is super important. A lot of people just try to make a fancy landing page. My guy, go out there and see what is already working. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And like I said, and he said something that it really hits me hard. And this is something that comes from the 48 laws of power that says that you should stand on the shoulders of giants. What that means is if companies have spent billions of dollars collectively trying to find the perfect landing page, what makes you think your 20 hours you spent on your landing page would do any better? If you have a better chance of you have a better and more efficient time usage if you go and steal word for word what a big competitor is using. Obviously, make some little tweaks and use it in your landing page. So that's the landing page. The next thing now is your traffic source. That is, where would you find this demographic? Where will you find them? That is, will it be online ads? Will you use online ads? Will you use content? Will you use affiliate marketing? There are different sources of traffic, right? The last part is your ad copy. That is, in your landing page, like what the ads that makes people click, right? The ads that make a demographic click. What will it say? And it's saying that all these things, every single thing, right, you can get from your competitor. And there are two kinds of competitors you will have in this business. You have direct competitors. These are people who are selling the exact same thing to other people. And you have indirect competitors. First of all, you have indirect competitors, people who are selling something different, but to your exact same demographic. That's your indirect competition. Although I'm thinking that you could also have an indirect competition that sells the same thing, but to a different demographic, right? Some people appeal to different demographics. I've seen people appeal who do chiropractor for older people, chiropractor for everybody. So those are two different kinds of people completely. The one who's doing a chiropractor for older people obviously will charge more because older people are more complicated or they feel they are more complicated, quote unquote. And such a kind of framing is massive, don't worry. I just think about it. Everything in this life has its level of perceptivity. What that means is how it's perceived is more important than how it is. So, for example, if I create an offer and I say this offer, maybe for example, because I'm thinking of creating a fitness course, because I've solved my time at the gym. I don't work out, and this is even me after eating a lot yesterday night because I stayed up late. This is me eating, and I'm looking at my body. I have way more results than people who spend 2 hours in the gym, and I spend 45 minutes at the gym. So meeting professionals, making them realize that you can spend 45 minutes at the gym, professionals, right? And still have very, very good results. Now, mind you, I also noticed that when physical trainers create courses like that, 45 minute courses, what I mostly see is they create they create courses that are like, should I say, a mini caricature, a mini joke of what actual weightlifting is. So what they do is, okay, oh, this guy bench presses what 100 kg. Would you consider bench pressing 80 kg? But no, that's not it. You can still bench press your 80 kg, but you have to consider things like time efficiency, supersets, the days at the gym, your diet, your stress levels. Because since I work like these guys, I know that the major thing that stops them from going to the gym is the stress levels. If you have high stress levels, trust me, you're not doing shit. You're not advancing in your fitness journey. And instead, you're killing yourself. Trust me. But you're better off as a professional taking a step back and asking yourself very deep questions like, why the fuck am I this stressed? It's okay to be stressed for a period of time, right? And you get back versus you being stressed for every single quarter of the year. At some point, we need the time to zoom out. So it's also supposed to be a course that people would take as therapy to say, what, let me zoom out and answer that real question. Why am I super stressed? And more often than not, if people look at why they are super stressed, you get to realize that there are more things that are happening than they can even consider or they can even rethink. So that's why I said it would be a very nice thing to do and just like introduce people to it. So yep, that's it. Like I want to keep doing these breakdowns before I go to the gym since I read every day. I'm even thinking of starting to read another book again, right? This time around, I don't know yet. Maybe let's see. Sha. Something that just come break down. I just enjoy this course. Right now, I'm hearing myself and seeing that my speech is getting better. So today I'll be taking a walk on the express. After the walk in the express, I have some clients work to do because I need to get paid. My car is here at the mechanic. And this man I was supposed to do a business deal with hit me up yesterday night. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's been a very oh shit. I was the one who ignored his calls. So we're supposed to do a business deal like 3 years ago. He's a very chill guy. He's a guy who I would say I'll look up to in Nigeria. See, Nigeria is a country where we have more fraudsters than legit people. So when you see the legit people who are doing very great, you just want to be around them. And he's one of them. And I feel like I I just for some reason I just lost touch. But he hit me up and he's like, okay, so let me see what he has let me see what he has in store. He's a very serious guy, very chill guy. So well, I need money to fix my car. So I'll update you on the guys in the car right now. They'll probably be wondering what the fuck is going on. Like they don't heard from me. I just made some deposits, which I borrowed from my mom. I made some deposits. And I don't want to borrow everything from my mom. And obviously I have to pay her. Because it would have been like a shit ton of disrespect. Don't worry. When it comes to like Nigerian women and borrowing money from them, even though she's your mom, you need that respect from them. So yeah, looking at everything, I want to finish clients' work today. So what that means is I have little time to do this. I have little time to like, speak to the camera and all. So I'll just go ahead plan for plan. Oh shit! I also have to set up my content server. So for the content server today, so yes, I'll come back for the content server today. I'll be setting up this laptop. The battery is bad. So this is one of my guys' laptops. The battery is very bad. The hard drive is bad. Laptop, okay. So hold on. The charging port is bad. The battery is bad. The hard disk is bad. The screen is bad. I figured that well, what's important? The USB ports, right? Because if I can get the USB port to work, I can get other things to work. I can even detach the screen so that it turns into a full what? But I'll still figure out to manage it though. So it doesn't have LAN cable, but one thing I can do is use this USB port. Right, use this USB port to. So I want to store a NAS and a network attached storage, so I can hook my 3 terabytes drive to it and hook it up to the network. Hoping to get at maybe like I can get 20 megabytes per second to share across the network. It's a good one. Plus, have like a couple of virtual machines so that my assistant can like load up videos that she can upload to YouTube and everything because the game is about to step up and it feels like I'm the one who's slacking them right now about making this video because I have like a backlog of 3 months of vlogging, bro. That's some crazy consistency there, man. And I'm grateful for the fact that every day I show up. So I'll just next time you see me is when I'm losing this up. I'll lose it up, install the hard drive into that place because the one there was fried. Install the hard drive then. When I'm done, if it's successful, hook it up to the network. Then I'll go and set up the iMac over there because I discovered this software, Mist, that can allow me to create bootable images of older OSs. So if I can achieve that, that'll be a good one. So if you made it this far, thank you very much. I'll see you later. Okay, so there are no mats around. I don't want to work out in the main arena, so I went and got a decline bench. Hopefully,
Okay, I can say maths. Can you imagine? You see, when you set yourself a goal, the universe has a way of making that goal a reality. So the goal was obviously. Okay, so I had this little post. Okay, I spoke about it, the rant to the government and all. It's not like I wanted to rant. I figured that it was a trending hashtag and it's going to be trending for the next 30 days. Think about it. I'm not really a fan of what's happening in the country. And all I'm to do is to speak about it. I'm still like having this debate of ethics in my head. Because right now I'm currently going over this guy's video. This Captain America guy who everyone is bashing right now because he says that he wants his sons to be like masculine and then he's training his sons to be masculine. And there's a fucking backlash. It's crazy how would somebody say that he wants his kids to be his kids that he gave birth to, that he's taking care of, and he fucking wants them to be masculine, his boys. And some idiots have the guts to say he's I don't know, maybe he's toxic, he's controlling. Huh? Oh, 5, 6, 7. Wow! I said, I'm in good flow state today, man. I knew I was not going to make that one. Because I was not prepped mentally, but I did it regardless. Alright. Man, that was good flow state. I don't want to talk so I don't break the flow of it. So I kind of realized that I have not meditated in about a year, right? And I can tell the difference between my mental habit of the past and that of today. And I always tell people that sometimes if you break your habits for a couple of days and come back to it, maybe a couple of days or weeks or 2 weeks max, and come back to it, you will really appreciate it. As I tell people that hold on. So I tell people that it's okay to break your habit from time to time. So when you break them, it makes you appreciate them more than if you just follow them all through. Same thing with the gym habit. Break a habit or two once from time to time, right? The reason behind that is because, like I said, it makes you value it more. So looking at looking at the way my thought process is, I was going for about a year now. It's different from when I was meditating every single day for like 5 years. I could wake up in the village, my brothers are there, crossing my leg, and meditating like, and these days, right? So I do this meditative walk some days without earphones, and the amount of presence I get, even to the point when some days when I'm coming to the gym, I forget to bring up my phone because I begin to enjoy this idea of walking meditation. Recently though, so I'll just go back to it. So I tell guys, break your habits of time to time and see how important they are. Okay, so let me show you a little trick that I learned while working out. Hold on, let me just stop my timer. So I discovered that the tires of this decline bench are already worn out, and I see a lot of people carrying this bench, like using too much energy on all that shit. Until I discovered that, bro, they are literally tires where you hang your legs. You can just tip it up and pull it Now you don't have to stress yourself that much anymore because the tires are now here. So the initial tires are broken already, and then this could serve as tires, although that's not what they were built for, but it's life. Find a way to improvise. So let me see. Abs related. I'll be doing leg raises, then crunch. That felt light. Crunches and all. But I have about 8 days to the end of 75 hard. Like that's crazy. That's good. That's good. I'm not going to lie. So the first one is going to be leg raises, and leg raises is more like my best. Okay, leg raises. Then I'll do sit-ups with maybe some weight. I don't know, but maybe sit-ups and twist, Russian twist. That's true. Let me just have like a full bench edition type workout. So imagine if I had only this bench, right? I had no mat. What would I do? That would be very nice. That would be a nice idea. So first thing I'll do will be leg raises. But one reason I skip first before I work out is if you how I skip first, it feels like warming up your entire system, right? Getting good, getting the heart rate pumping. Because I find the sweat coming out easier after like 6 minutes of skip. Okay, so leg raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I picked 30 as the number is. It is 20 feels like what everybody can do. And I feel like, no, I know that you build more muscles when you push yourself past what you can currently do. So that's a big belief I have. I think it's a fact scientifically. So what that means is the extra weight you lift does a lot of magic. The little extras you think don't count actually count a lot. A lot of people don't get the concept very well. So if you're used to lifting 10 reps or something, try lifting 13 reps. If you're used to lifting 2 reps, try lifting 2 and maybe attempt a third failure. So it's to help with hypertrophy more than just lifting and staying consistent on that weight. I guess most people who are new to the gym, they have 2 problems basically. One is no goal. Second is the wrong mindset. Yeah, a lot of them are trying to rely on motivation than they rely on the system. And if you think about it, in its very essence, being disciplined is about creating a system that is workable for you, right? That's the very essence of discipline. So for me, my system is, I know that my body will most likely end up being garbage in, garbage out, muscle stress, muscle build. So that means is, if I eat excessively, I know I should get out the excesses. So if I see myself consuming maybe soda, because heck, all these self-improvement guys telling you to not drink soda, they aren't doing it. Okay, I don't want to digress. Heck, if I take soda that has a shit ton of calories, I don't stress over it because I know I'm going to burn it. I know I'm going to burn it. So it will no longer be a thing that makes me panic. I mean, let me shut that door. Let me reduce the amount of sound coming in. So yes. Yes, I'm someone who takes soda, and I'll tell you not to take soda. The reason behind me telling not to take soda is simply because for most people who are yet to cut out soda, soda is a major addiction. I tell people that if you're trying to battle an addiction, kill it completely first. Then, after killing the actual addiction, you have to either kill the desire or replace the desire completely. How do you kill desire? By detachment. Killing desires is not as easy as it sounds, right? This is where meditation comes in. So when you're trying to kill a desire, you're figuring out what are the triggers? What's causing me to feel this way when it comes to this desire? What's bringing this desire up in my head over and over again? When you figure out what is causing the desire, then it's easier for you to kill it. But I think a major part of killing desires boils down to one, observing your thoughts, right? Two, controlling your environment. When you observe your thoughts, it's easy for you to detach from the thought. And when you detach from the thoughts, it's easier for you to detach from the desire itself. So yeah, this is why Miyamoto Musashi says you should be detached your whole life long. Because I'll go for the second round of leg raises 30. And the reason it's 30 is because you want to have, because that extra 10, that extra 5 means a lot. I think after this, I'll be trying 35 and upping my game, right? Because I'm going to lie, I've really never had 6 packs in my entire life. I'm not here to whine anybody or anybody's child. I've never had 6 packs. I'm just one. Let me look at 6, 5, 4, 4 left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bro, I'm going to lie. I was not cut out mentally for that. 0. And speaking of not being cut out mentally, today I've been through a lot and achieved nothing for now. I think when I get back, I think I definitely make headway on the home server. So I'm basically using this trashed laptop, change up the hard drive, using it as a server, have my Windows installed on it. My Windows has a virtual machine that has the Linux. I can do like this, sharing operations. So on pending the time when I have like maybe more resources, get like a proper deck, because I'm taking this content into a different level, right? Content moving forward is not just uploading viral videos, it's about documenting my entire journey. So yeah, I think everyone should, because if you want to look back and realize that 5 years from now, you would say that the things you said 5 years ago were complete stupid, were utter rubbish. But that's the point. That shows that you grew. And then, even my voice right now sounds very irritating to me. And then again, what should I do? I feel like I shouldn't wait, but at the same time I should improve it. So yes, I was talking about masculinity, right? I don't know why I keep digressing, but so on the topic of masculinity, hold on, before I speak on that, I had a thought process today. And the thought process says that I have never, personally, I have never met a feminist, right, who had a very masculine dad and a very feminine mom. Now that does not mean that I know anybody who is damaged. It does not mean that. What it technically means is I have not seen a man who is super masculine with a masculine wife go ahead and raise feminist daughters. I'm here to, and if you can show me, I'm like, okay, no problem, then it means he exists. Until then, I have this theory in my head that a lot of women are bitter with their husbands. They end up transferring that bitterness onto their kids. And I remember I was talking to this lady, right? And this lady made a statement. She said her mother keeps lamenting on how the kind of life she could have lived, the things she sacrificed to have a family. And I tried to tell this girl, although because telling her without asking for my opinion is a very bad thing to do. But man, I'm like, you do realize that if she had gone for that thing that she wanted to do, she would have sacrificed the family for it. What does that mean? That everything you want comes at a cost, right? Everything you want comes at a sacrifice. Me building my personal brand while starting like a SaaS company makes me realize that I'm sacrificing speed, right, for this. Now, reason that yes, I'm aware of that. And this is my life's mission. Where am I rushing to? Right? Where am I rushing to? What am I trying to make things happen now? Right? And then I said everything I'm doing right now, I'm looking at myself and asking myself, if I did not have the luxury of doing them again, would I want to do them? That means if if I have all the money in the world and I don't do this thing, how will I feel? I'll feel miserable if I have all the money in the world and I don't know how to fight. It doesn't mean that I'll fight people. It doesn't mean I will bully people. I'll be very miserable if I never put out my content, put out my thought process. I'll be very miserable if I never put out stuff there to coach people. So this is what I'm doing, So I'm saying this because in your own life, there'll be areas in your life where you will realize that you have two options. Either I sacrifice this or something else suffers for it. And it's life. I feel a lot of people never take the time to zoom out and ask themselves, what do they want from life? That is why I'll say over and over again. There's a reason The Subtle Art of a Fork. That book sold a lot of copies because it made people realize that they are living this lie, or they're living a life that a lot of them don't really plan for. They just sort of walk into that life, and it's at whose detriment? Theirs. It's like the man who thinks that he pursues money all along, neglecting the kids, and the kids grow up and they realize that they never built connection with their father. Me and my dad had a very funny relationship though, so I'm super grateful for everything. So, 1, 2, 3, this is about 20 kg, 25. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. Ah, shit, man. So, on the topic of masculinity, right? So, hold on. Right, speaking of masculinity, right, I feel like masculinity is so downgraded, so degraded to the point where a lot of people will hear some ideas. Instead of running through what these ideas are true or not, they end up insulting the idea. So, for example, this Fresh and Fit guy is Myron Gaines, right? He has a girlfriend. He talks about how his girlfriend is submissive. She packs up condom and shit, right? Now, to be very honest, I really can't tell if the relationship is genuine or is a staged one. But one thing I'll tell people is that feminine women, they have this joy of wanting to serve their husbands. That's why they go for men who are above them. So I'm saying this because a lot of men don't realize that women want to have the man have a higher power dynamic. They want the man who is better than them, that they can look up to, because feminine energy rests on masculine energy. So you see a lot of guys who say things like, oh, me and my partner are equals. I keep saying no, that is part of these deadly ideas that they've gradually sunk into our heads, and we need to get rid of them because women don't want that. And women can't say that because if they say it, automatically they'll get bashed. They feel like they are betraying the womanhood, they are betraying what feminists fought for. But no, it's okay. Some women should be okay to say, no, you know what? I don't want all that. If my man wants to do that, that is good for him. He should go ahead and do that. So women don't want equality because the moment you say that they are equals, there's really nothing to brag about. And trust me, if you don't believe me, Look at women's circles. Look at what they talk about. Women brag about their partners. Which woman brags that she's equal to her partner? They only do that when she's in the midst of masculine women. But look at feminine women. Look at the way they brag about their husbands. And I tell people that, wow, the world is really, really messed up, because what they don't realize is, if you kill masculinity in men, because think about this thing, right? Think of the world as energy. Nature created an equal amount of masculine and feminine energy in every single entity. So when you kill the masculinity, the more feminine men we have, the more masculine women we have. So that means if you kill the masculinity in men, for some weird reasons, it transfers to women. So women have to become masculine, even though they are attractive physically. But if a masculine man speaking to women like this that are masculine, something in you just turns off. It's like, the fuck? I don't know, there's this self-improvement YouTuber with a Liz who gives very crazy advice. What I mean crazy, I mean very good advice that people should follow. I mean, if you think them through, they are smart. And then I think Hamza spoke about how she's leading women towards this masculine type narrative, and she came out talking about how no man can take care of her and shit like that. I'm like, well, hey, no problem, go ahead. And I feel like the world has become a fucked up place. Sorry, not fucked up per se, but the world has become an interesting place where women now understand that they would rather be masculine. Some women understand that they'd rather be masculine than be feminine. So, well, I mean, it is what it is, but I really feel like as a man, nobody really wants a feminine man. And so a feminine man is at the losing end of this thing regardless. There's nothing that he's getting out of it. The masculine women, they will keep a feminine man for the sake of keeping. But when they want to have babies, look at who they gravitate towards. Like, I tell people that we are animals first, before we are animals that are capable of thinking. What that means is, when our animal nature kicks in, the thinking faculties go out the window. What is left for is survival, and in survival instinct and survival, basically. So men need to understand that they have to be masculine. This idea of becoming feminine never ever works, right, to their advantage. I think I'm going to talk to this girl. Let me hear what she does for content. I can see that her phone is flipped horizontal landscape, so I suspect YouTube. Also, she has a very nice body though. Okay, so weighted sit-ups. Bro, this shit is crazy. So, 1, 2. So when men, so I'm speaking of Myron Gaines because although I stopped watching Fresh and Fit because I think I was past that journey of, should I say, the red pill. So people don't understand that the red pill is supposed to be a journey where you take the red pill, you understand the red pill, and you use it to navigate your dating life. There are people who will see the red pill, and I feel like everybody has to watch the movie The Matrix, because the movie The Matrix literally explains to you reality, right? That you can either take the red pill, fold, right, cry, make noise, or, so when I'm done with that process, you can either go back to believing the rubbish you are believing, or you begin to create your own reality, knowing fully well that you have escaped the Matrix. And it's a movie that basically shows us that the minds of most people are heavily programmed. So it is more of a spiritual movie and it is of an entertaining movie. So I don't know why people are not watching it again. Maybe because of they've taken this Matrix to be a joke, and it's not a joke. I tell you that you should stop becoming an NPC, a non-playable character, because most people are just coasting through life. They don't have intentions. I tell people that the more intentions you have, right, that means is you are being intentional about the content you consume. You are being intentional about the women you speak to. You are being intentional about the workouts you do, the food you eat. That's the better the quality of your life. You look back and say, you know what? I lived a life that I truly wanted to live. At the end of the day, most people are going to die. But most people are going to die at the last moment, knowing fully well that they didn't give life their best. I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want you to be that kind of person. So Speaking of the Matrix and the fact that they've programmed men to think, act a certain way where we believe that we should be equal with our partners. This is why when I'm reading the 48 laws of power and I'm breaking it down for people, it's about, first of all, having power over yourself first. I think that is the point of 48 laws of power. If you read and reread this, because before you can implement those 48 laws, it means that you must have total power over yourself first before you can even have power over other people. And for most cases, and this is what somebody explained to me, that most people are sleeping, right? And the matrix exists because most people want rules and ideas to govern them. They don't want to think for themselves, because thinking for themselves is risky. You either get it or you don't. So people rather go for what everybody is doing than pursuing their path, and their path is a complete waste of time. There are people who spend all their life pursuing certain goals. They never get to those goals, right? So people realize that it's safer, right, to just go with the masses. It's safer to do what, quote unquote, is safe at the moment. So, okay, the next workout is going to be, man, these weights are pretty heavy, man. So I have to like reduce this weight, take off 10 kg, because I need to twist this time around. I need to twist properly. After this, I'll do side bends. From side bends, I'll probably go into those CrossFit. I take a screenshot of like, and have fun with it. So I'm going for cable rolls. So when Myron is talking about how his girlfriend packs condoms for him, right? And take it or leave it. Whether I like it or not, I'm about to make a statement, right? But we're not sit well with people. But women have no problem with cheating. They have a problem with being cheated on. That is their real problem. So if you're somebody who understands this fact, if you have a partner, right, who understands that, hold on, that even though he goes out to sleep with other women, he comes back home, takes care of her and the kids. Trust me, if she really understands that, she won't be bothered. So far, you yourself, you respect her, you don't bring back unwanted kids, you don't bring back sexual diseases. And I think most women that are married to high standards men who understand, I will not really give two fucks about it. I mean, it sounds rash, but the truth is the truth, right? Because I have guys who live this way, and so trust me, most guys don't live this way, and most guys can't. It's the reality of life. Okay, so I'll be doing bends. Let's go. The benzo. So Myron says that his girlfriend packs condoms for him, and the girlfriend says that she doesn't pack condoms so he goes to go and have sex, but she has a feeling that if she goes out there, he might want to have sex, and rather than him lying or catching STDs, he may at least have protection. So when he comes back to her, they still have a great time. And people are calling her stupid. I'm saying, wait, hold on. Some of you girls know that your mans are cheating, but you choose to ignore. But she knows, and she chooses to keep the situation and make it. I tell people that anything that happens, you have two choices, right? No, I think there are like 3 or 4 choices. Either you use it to your advantage, you ignore it, you find a way to profit from it, you find a way to miss the point completely. I think she gets the point that high value men or men with high testosterone, right, will cheat. And I say something that, find me a man who doesn't cheat, right, at all, for 20 to 30 years. And please show me his testosterone level. I want to see something. Because I want to see whether that man is operating at his max, at his peak. Okay, so I'm supposed to do a twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Last 10. What's next? 10. Let's go. 5, 4, 3. Boy. So Maron also talks about how she doesn't argue, right? There is zero argument in the home, right? And people are like, oh, let me say she can't express herself. And now, like I said, I kind of listen to Marianne sometimes. Marianne sometimes doesn't act like a masculine figure sometimes, right? One thing I know for sure is that the most masculine men I know, the moment their women are trying to bring up any arguments, right? Their people are just killing it in their head right before it starts, right? And I have an uncle, very masculine, and I've noticed, right, when he talks, because the wife understands that the man has her interest at heart. So when he talks, she doesn't question him at all. So they stay in the US, right? This is my uncle. And then he says that he wants his kids to grow up in Nigeria. And the moment he made that statement, everyone looks to his wife and they're like, is she cool with it? And she's like, yeah, anything he wants. The only thing we'll ask is, how do we adapt their lifestyle to adjust for that? And he's like, okay. And he made plans. And that is where I feel masculinity is. If the woman believes that you have her interest at heart, right, she won't be bothered. No, sorry. So I think I had a thought process about women not caring about cheating. Now, women will want you to cheat with them. That means is, if they're not the first, right, they don't mind sharing. Whenever they're the first, they'll do whatever they can to not share. And if you share, and they look around that they can never find a man of this caliber, they'll manage. I say this because that is what nature designed. But the fact that the Matrix designed monogamy was a blessing. But the problem was, it gave room for ideas that, although polygamy never went away, it created a facade of monogamy. Boxing coach is around. So it created a facade. So people lie that they are monogamous, but behind the scenes they are not. I've heard countless stories of women who say things like they want to get pregnant by somebody else other than their husband. And whenever I look at their husband, I kind of realize that the husbands, they look and feel a certain way. Chubby, soft looking, not looking dangerous, big stomach and shit. It makes me understand that we are animals first, before animals who can think. And then I have to take a pause because I heard something very, very funny. But now, just need clarity. Okay, so my last twist, and I'm moving to side bends. So, a lot of guys believe these ideas that have been pushed on them and that they must live a certain way, and it's causing problems because monogamy, due to research, and they never bring out this research because it goes against the matrix. Monogamy does not favor humanity in the long run. So what do we do? What should we do? Because if we have polygamy as a standard, what's going to happen? A lot of men will not have partners, thereby causing men to become very aggressive. In that process, they begin to hurt people. So what happens? I feel we should preach. The truth is that we should preach monogamy, but the honest truth is that polygamy is not to be there. We know that we have to create a facade again. But what I tell guys is, guys, understand why women want masculine men and be the most masculine you can be. Commit to that idea of being masculine and never buy into the idea, because I feel women should test men over and over again. Whenever a woman does things that you know is not masculine, be brute about it, saying no. If your woman says, hold my back for me, The reason you should never do that is because it's a little test. Tomorrow she begins to shift the goalpost of your masculinity and give it a decade. You see men who are very big and muscular. All of a sudden, 10 to 20 years into marriage or monogamy, you begin to realize that there's nothing, that they're just giving up on life and shit. So there's a reason single men or men who are divorced, they move a different way. Alright, so the people I pity the most are people who are blissfully ignorant on realities of sexual dynamics. 2, 3, 4, 5.